This is the Northwest Territories personal tax credit return. This will be filled in some cases along with the worksheet, which we will see how this entire form gets filled. PDF fillable and savable form can be downloaded by clicking, and you can find this here on this website. You can just search for TD form for 2026 and come to this page. Make sure you're coming to this page. Here you have this federal tax return form, and I made a video on how to fill this. Once you come down, you will find Northwest Territories, and here you can download these both forms. Enter your details like last name, first name, date of birth. You make an entry like this together, year, month and date, and then you enter, and it will come in this format. Employee number, address, postal code. If you are a non-resident of Canada, you will enter the permanent resident country here, and then the social insurance number. Once this is done, basic personal amount. Here by default in the fillable form, it shows as 18,198. If you have a printout form, then you can enter this amount 18,198. This is for 2026. Now coming to the age amount, it is for someone who is 65 year or older. If you are 65 year or older on December 31st, 2026, and your net income from all sources will be 46,432 or less, you will enter 8902. In case you are 65 year or older and you have more than 105,779, you will enter 0. And in case you have the total income between 46,432 and 105,779, you will use the worksheet. Here on the worksheet, you see line 2, age amount. Maximum amount is already pre-filled, 8902. Estimated net income is what you will enter. Here in this case, for example, the estimated net income is 48,432, which is more than this number and less than this. Then this is getting minus from this amount. This is the amount what is entered here. And you can see the difference is $2,000, 15% of which is $300. So once this $300 is got, whatever your number is, that you will subtract from 8902. In this case, for me, it shows 8602, and this is the number. Here I am entering 8602. So this is how you will enter. Let me keep this 0. Increase pension income amount. Here, what is not included, that you have to be careful. Not included Canada Pension Plan, Quebec Pension Plan, Old Age Security or Guaranteed Income Supplement. So other than this, if you have any pension plan, say a company has given you a pension and that pension is say $2,000. In that case, there is a upper cap of this $1,000, what you see here. So even if you're getting $2,000, you will enter $1,000 only. And if it is less than $1,000, then you will enter the amount what it is. Say you're getting $600, you'll enter 600. And if you are not getting anything, you will just enter 0. Then comes tuition and education amount, full-time and part-time. Here you need to be student at university, college or educational institution certified by Employment and Social Development Canada, and you will pay more than $100 per institution in tuition fee. This tuition fee is only for 2026. If you're in a longer program, say 2 years program, you will only enter the tuition fee what you're paying for 2026. And depending on whether you're full-time or part-time, if you're a full-time student, you, in addition to the tuition fee, you will also enter for each month. Say you're paying tuition fee of $600. In addition to $600, you will also add up as a full-time employee if you are there for 3 months. For each month, $400, which will be $1,200 plus $600, which makes it $1,800. So you will enter $1,800. If you are a part-time student with mental or physical disability, in that case, for each month, you get $400. And if you are a part-time student who does not have mental or physical disability, it is $120 for each month. So based on your situation, you will enter that number here. When it comes to the disability amount, in case you have T2201, you will enter the amount 14,758. And if you don't have this T2201, you will enter 0. Let me enter 0 here also. Line 6, spouse or common law partner amount. Here, enter the difference between the amount at line 1 and the estimated net income of your spouse or common law partner. if all of the following condition apply. So these three conditions have to apply before you can do anything. You are supporting your spouse or common law partner. Your spouse or common law partner lives with you. Your spouse or common law partner's net income from the year will be less than the amount at line 1. So what is the amount at line 1? 18,198. If the net amount is less than this, then whatever the earning is going to be, that earning minus this amount. So if, say, the spouse, for example, might be earning $14,000 for 2026, then 18,198 minus 14,000, that will be 4,198. That is the entry what will be made. Let me keep this 0 and then let me come down. Here, amount of eligible dependent. Again, similarly, enter the difference between the amount in line 1 and the estimated net amount of your eligible dependent. If all of the following condition apply, you do not have spouse or common law partner, or you have spouse or common law partner who does not live with you and who you are not supporting or being supported by. This is the first condition. You are supporting the dependent. The dependent is related to you and lives with you. The dependent's net income from the year will be less than the amount in line 1. So line 1 we had seen. From that, the amount should be less, and these three criteria is what we talked about. All of this, if it meets, then the difference of amount you will enter after subtracting the income, whatever it comes. Say, for example, after deduction, after minus, it comes to say $700 only. So make that entry, whatever the number you get. I'm keeping it as 0. And then caregiver amount, enter 6032 if you are taking care of dependent and all of the following condition apply. The dependent is your or your spouse's or common law partner's parent or grandparent, age 65 year or older, or an infirm relative, age 18 year or older. The dependent lives with you. The dependent's net income for the year will be 20,601 or less. You may enter partial amount if the dependent's net income for the year will be between this 20,601 and 26,633. So if it is less than 20,601, you will enter 6032. Say the income is, for example, $14,000, which is less than 20,601. In that case, you will enter 6032. And if not, we will use the worksheet to see how the entry will be made. If it is more than 26,633, in that case, it will be 0. Once this is done, let's go to worksheet. Here you see the base amount is already filled as 14,591, which is nothing but, if you look at this, 8,559 and 14,591. This is the maximum ceiling which was given. So that is the entry here. Say the dependent who is infirm has an income of 10,591. This is the example I have given to make it easy. So the difference is 4,000, which is getting entered here. Difference between 14,591 and 10,591. The actuals has to be entered here. And after this, the next line has to come from line 7. When you come here to line 7, right now you see 0 as the entry. Say instead of 0, if this had some entry as 3,000, okay? Then on the worksheet, here we would be entering 3,000. Whatever the line item number is, that gets entered. And then line 3 minus line 4. It gives $1,000. So this $1,000 will be entered in line 9 of the main sheet. Now, if this number is negative, for example, in line 7, it was 4,500. Okay. So now 4,000 minus 4,500 is minus 500. which is negative, and if it is negative, we will enter 0 here. So this is on the worksheet. So this is where it will get entered. I will keep it at 0. And then amount transferred from your spouse or common law partner. In case when the spouse or common law partner fills their form, they have some credit. For example, they had a credit of 5,000, but they have only utilized 2,000. The unused amount can be used by you. But what cannot be used is age amount, pension income amount, tuition, education amount, or disability amount. So other than this, in case there is anything, you can enter it here. I am entering 0. And then same goes with dependent. In case when they fill, if there are any unused amount, you will be able to enter that unused amount here. Once the entry is made, just total from 1 to 11, and whatever the total comes here in this case, there is only one entry, 18,198, that has been entered here, 18,198. Whatever the total comes, that way get entered. And then once you come down, you have this more than one employer or pair at the same time. In case you have more than one employer, chances are that you would have already filled the this report, and in that case you will have to check this, because you cannot claim this again. And if your total income from all sources will be more than the personal tax credit, you claimed on another TD1 NT form. And once you check this, you will have to go and enter 0 in line 12 and do not fill line 2 to 11. So basically here you will enter as 0 and all others will remain blank, including this basic personal amount. So that will be 0. Next is, let me uncheck this, total income is less than the total claim amount. If that is the case, again you will click this part, and this additional tax to be deducted, in case earlier what you had given was lesser in taxes and you want the additional tax to be deducted so that you end up not getting into any surprise later on, you fill this additional tax to be deducted form on federal form TD1, which you can check my video how that is done. Then this is the reduction in tax deduction, which you will have to fill out this form T1213 to request reduction in tax deduction at sources. So once this is done, let me come down. You will sign this document, put a date and hand over to your employer, and your job is done with this. Friends, do check out my website CanadaTriedAndTested.com, which I keep updating from time to time. And as you can see, I have organized everything in a way easy for you to find based on the topic of your interest.